Good morning, I'm Michael with Liberty Construction. We're here at the Nabavi project in Upper Marlboro, Maryland. It's a two-phase project where we completed the upstairs and now we're starting to do demo on the downstairs.
Let's go take a look in. Michael? Frank?
We needed to keep her x-ray machine active during the construction project, so we temporarily relocated it to the front area and have a temporary wall to allow her to still use her x-ray machine. The x-ray machine was located in this space right here, and its permanent location will be behind me to the left over here after we're done construction.
I guess we can show the compressor?
Yeah.
And it's loud.
This is the current mechanical room, and we still need to use the vacuum and compressor so the doctor can use it for the upstairs section. When we're completed with this area, there'll be a new vacuum and compressor installed.
So we're not moving this then?
We're gonna leave it here for now.
Right.
Once we get everything demoed and laid out, then we're gonna relocate it over here.
We're gonna keep it here, or we're gonna keep it in the front?
No.
Here? And then I'm assuming we don't have to tie anything in anymore, right? Since we're leaving it in the same area? We still have to do that?
Yeah,
okay.
we tied it in.
All right, well, that's everything for downstairs. Let's go check out what's going on upstairs.
This is going to be the entrance here. I'm going to be doing a new opening over here to combine basically both suites together. So when patients come in, they'll easily be able to access both, as well as the doctors and her employees. New space, as you can see, nice brightness compared to obviously downstairs. She's bringing in some sage and some beige colors into the suite, make it a nice calming effect for the patients. Have some nice curved arches, throughout. That's going to flow really nice for the patients. Nice tall ceilings as well. Natural light coming in. Got Benko here setting up a few items here.
You want to talk about the fire alarm monitoring? So basically what had happened was that we were trying to test out some fire alarm strobes over here, and long story short, we're supposed to have inspections the next day. And then out of nowhere, once we started testing everything out, only one strobe worked and everything else didn't. So now we're kind of scrambling to find out what's going on with this. Next day, last minute, we get another panel to test it out, and same issue still persisted. At this point, we're just trying to see what we can do, because we're supposed to do our final inspections to get move-in date on Monday. And then from there, we're asking around with our subs. We're also checking with the building, and we just had to get a couple wires adjusted. So now that that was fixed, everything was working, except that one strobe that was originally working wasn't working. So then it's just the same problem again. We got everything working again, and now we're currently we've gotten permission for a month to get this whole fire alarm situation figured out. And I mean, the third-party inspector has been really working alongside us to make sure everything happens, to ensure that Dr. Nabavi was able to start on Monday. Hey, here's Dr. Nabavi, owner of Elegant Smiles. Let's chat with her for a second.
Hi, how are you, Frank? How's it going?
Good, good. How about you?
Good.
Since you're here, would you like to talk about some of the things you really like about the design of this space, and some things, maybe that you would prefer to change, anything like that?
Sure. So when I got this space, what I was looking for was to really transform our office to become more like a dental spa, to give a really calm feeling to our patients, and just be like more airy and open and bright. So I really think we've accomplished that upstairs, hopefully downstairs too. So when Zara and I started working, I showed her my Pinterest board, which was a lot of arches apparently. And I like the beige and the sage colors, so she kind of really worked with that and kind of ran with it. And I think we've accomplished that. It just is like a very calm space. The sage and the beige really do calm the nervous system, especially, we're a dental office. People get nervous about coming here.
Sure.
So if we can kind of give them a space where they immediately feel comfortable when they come in. So I really think we have achieved that here.
Oh yeah, it really does
Yeah.
seem like it all came together.
And I love all the the little design elements of the wallpaper, the tile work here, and
it's
just
definitely
all the
beautiful tile
little
work.
things. And also I do think we did a lot of design engineering of just adding things to the space without it costing a lot. Like even the arches were just a huge design element to our space that didn't break the budget, but also just did so much on its own without us doing anything
Yeah,
else.
absolutely. I
Yeah.
mean, the arches, once you come in to see the size of the offertories really makes it nice. You
Yeah.
capture all of the tile work. Just really looks nice.
Yeah, and
so
also
yeah.
this space had a really huge ceiling, so we didn't want to lose that. So it was really
Exactly.
nice that we could work together. And even though we dropped it, it was still to a level where
Yeah.
it still has these nice, beautiful, tall ceilings that
Yeah.
adds a space.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And also just bringing in some of the natural light when the sun's rising. That's also a really nice touch as well.
Right. In dentistry, we love natural light.
Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
sure.
Let's do a little walk through the space over here and see what we have. I know you added 3 offertories because your office is growing.
We actually we started with 3 operators. We're going to end with 8. So it's going to be a lot more. So there's going to be 4 downstairs and 4 upstairs.
Yeah, 4 up here.
Obviously, we have 4 here already.
Yeah.
And this is going to be our spa room eventually, which is my favorite room.
Yeah.
Just a lot of windows, very spacious, and this beautiful arch window that was already
Exactly.
here. And
No, this is great. I mean, even me as a patient, if I was in here, I would feel this is, almost feels like a little, peaceful beach-like in a sense that it just gives it a nice calm effect just because it has this nice arched window. The colors, everything just, like you said, it's calming. And not only that, but it's spacious as well.
Right.
For the employees as well as the patient as well.
Sure. Yeah, we're hoping eventually we can do some facials here, facial treatments and other, aesthetic treatments that we can do for people. And I think it's the perfect room for it.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And lots of space to hold different equipment too that we want to get.
Yeah, that definitely came out really, really nice compared to obviously what it used to look like
yeah.
before.
It was just
It was
an
nice,
empty
dark.
office space.
Yeah, empty, dark.
Yes, exactly.
Even with all of the
Really
windows,
come
it's
a
like
long
nothing.
way.
Yeah, nothing really captured the natural light that it had the potential
I know
of
we're still
bringing.
moving in, but hopefully eventually it'll be decluttered.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Oh, I also love this mirror right here.
Yeah.
This is probably going to be where I'm going to be hanging out.
Yeah, actually, when I first came in, I was like, oh, there's another room over here.
Yeah,
So,
I know. It's just
yeah.
this, I wanted a giant mirror, so I got one.
Yeah. No, this
Zara
is
worked
really
it
nice.
in.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was probably the first thing I noticed. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, this is nice.
We didn't do one downstairs, but I decided I'm putting one in.
Well, if you decide to do it downstairs, you can always get it
Yeah,
installed.
I know exactly where it's going.
It's also nice
There's
that
going to be a
your,
giant mirror there too.
There you go.
your sterile is nice and bright, which I also noticed. It's a lot more spacious than the one that you had downstairs.
Yeah. And
obviously-
also, what I talked to Zara about was that we need space for cabinet space and storage space.
Mm-hmm.
So I think she did a really good job of finding different ways for us to have that.
Yeah.
And also our cabinet people did a great job of giving us as much cabinet and drawer space as possible. And then we got these tip out bins to help give that as well as just
For
give us.
organization.
Yeah, we want to be organized.
Yeah.
And even Zara worked out a little closet right here in the wall that her and the cabinet people worked together on getting to it for us. So then we just have more room for storage.
Correct, yeah.
And same thing downstairs. She worked out a way to put a closet in there for us to put and store stuff away, because downstairs we're gonna have a lot less storage.
Yeah, there's never enough storage in a dental
Yeah,
office. So.
yeah.
Yeah, glad
So-
we were able to capture that and incorporate it
Definitely.
into the space.
And that was our issue when we were downstairs. It's just we didn't have enough room for anything, so we were just kind of we didn't know where anything was sometimes.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's good to finally know where everything is in this office.
Yeah, once again, the offertory is nice and bright, which makes everything look nice and neat, crisp as well. The cabinets were provided by GT Brothers, which they did an excellent job as well.
Yeah, they did a great job. Yeah, and there was like an issue in the lab with the cabinets and the tip-out bins, and GT Brothers, they helped us out and said like we'll fix it, and they redid a whole cabinet just to allow us to be able to get the tip-out bins in.
Yeah.
Which I really appreciated. And I mean, they're very meticulous, because I was wondering why there wasn't a door to this little closet yet, or the shelves here. And they said, oh, there was a blemish in it and they didn't like it and they want to change it. And I said, okay, I'll take that.
Yeah.
I'll take perfectionism. I like that.
And I like that you're incorporating a little bit of the gold looks, throughout, which will bring, some nice finishing touches to the space as well.
I love gold.
Yeah.
I probably would have done a lot more, but Zara reeled me in and said that it's nice to just sprinkle it in instead of just
exactly.
Yep. And our chairs are eventually going to be a different color. They're going to be a taupe color. But there was just a mix-up with our equipment people, but they said, hey, we're just going to put these in so you can use it, and then we'll change it out for you later, which, again, I appreciate everyone just kind of making things work for us.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Bobby.
Dr. Nabavi.
Or Dr. Miriam.
Either or. If you can give anyone advice for a two-phase project on like your own personal opinions, like, hey, if you're considering doing the same kind of process, what are some things that people should be aware of to look out for?
That you're gonna go through it twice. You're gonna go through everything twice, and when the first phase is over, you still have another one to go. But I think just like trust the team and be very communicative. Things that you're not happy with, or things that you are happy with, just be like very good at communicating, and just kind of like it is kind of more about endurance. So just it's the long game, but just stay with it. Ultimately, I'm even just with phase one, I'm just so happy with where we're at right now of just being up here. And just, I got a little sad when I went downstairs and they're demoing the entire office, just because we've been there for so long now. But it's just, it's worth it. It's definitely worth it, because I'm just so happy seeing this space and kind of the vision come alive. And just like, our patients are going to be wowed, because they have no idea. They have no idea what they're going to walk into, and they're just all going to be wowed, just like my staff was when they saw the space. So it's worth it, in my opinion. Because sometimes
2.0.
Exactly. And sometimes like things just don't work out the way you want. Like I probably wouldn't want to do a two-phase project. I would have just done one, but it just happened that this was the best for our office, for us to acquire the upstairs space and just do a 2-floor practice and do it in a 2-phase, so then we don't have to shut down at all. So I think that was the biggest part of why we wanted to do it 2-phase, because we did not want to close down for our patients at all, because we still have a responsibility to our patients. And for now, we're only closing 3 days, and I don't think that's bad at all. Like I'll take that, and it kind of went through the weekend, so that was even more helpful with the timing. So yeah, I think it's worth it. It just depends on your circumstances.
Very true. Yeah, I can't stress enough communication. I'm sure that we've bumped heads, but we're just trying to make sure that everything keeps going and that we don't make you, lose any time seeing your clients.
Right.
That was definitely probably the biggest challenge out of anything, but we made it work.
Right, and we've had a lot of occupancy challenges. Yeah.
That too. Yeah. That came. It was really a curveball on that.
Right. So hopefully that won't happen for downstairs, but I'm glad that we're able to open tomorrow as long as everything is working, which we're testing that today. Yay!
Congratulations.